her voice is something that really struck me the first time I started listening to her. And I've kind of seen the odd interview with her over the last few weeks, and she offered a kind of interesting analogy for how she wanted to present herself on this record, and basically said that she was influenced by the kind of crooner sound of the 40s. So you got like these beautiful melodies, but then the songs themselves used very direct and simple English. And she actually preferred the kind of storytelling aspect of Dylan's work and the kind of personal narrative that he was pushing, like, I feel this, you've done this to me, that kind of thing. And interestingly, before they fell out, she said that no one had ever written that in song form, and Dylan's influence was to kind of personalise her own work. But whereas he kind of spoke in paragraphs at the sacrifice of the music, Joni's able to create this kind of hybrid where the songwriting allows for like melodic and harmonic movement, but then with plateaus, so that she's able to really put this like incredible poetry to like the front of a listener's mind. And I think the result is something unique. I think it can be unsettling, and maybe takes a little bit of getting used to. At least it did for me. But it is something that's unique.
Yeah, and I think you're touching on something really important there, which is that with Dylan, because of his voice, and I'm so tempted to do a Dylan impression now, but I'm going to restrain myself, and I'm not going to
maybe
do
on social media.
And I'll do go on our Instagram, and I'll be doing plenty of those. But with Dylan's voice, it just kind of lends itself to, as you say, speaking in paragraphs and having these fantastical images about valley this and or whatever. With Joni, because of her voice and kind of brief moment to let me get into the details of that, but she had a mezzo-soprano voice, which basically means that her chest voice or normal singing voice is actually a bit deeper than the classic soprano female vocal range. But because of her falsetto, she was able to slide really quickly between these fairly deep vocal sounds and up 3 octaves really, really high. And I think in one interview she describes her voice being as a bit like singing on helium, which is actually a fairly accurate reflection. But I think the way that she uses her voice, as you say, to reach these kind of plateaus and speak in direct English, but with her voice going all over the place from her falsetto to her chest voice, it is absolutely unique, as you say. And I can understand why people sometimes say, it takes a bit getting used to with Joni. But I think once you do get used to it, as with anything, it just becomes part of your of expectations when you listen to it, and then is only enhanced.